I sighed deeply, but Jules didn't seem to notice. The Plains Indians probably had it right with the burial scaffolding. If you aren't up to anything else, you might as well feed the buzzards. I couldn't stand it anymore. Jules? Yep? I turned and looked down at him. Do you ever shut up? He tipped his battered cowboy hat back on his head and took the final swig, still smiling. Nope. I nodded my final nod, turned, and tramped my way down the hill, away from the aged cottonwood at the fence line, where I had already worn a path in the snow. Jules had been there on my 3 previous visits, and he knew my pattern. I guess grave-digging got lonely. You can tell the new graves by the pristine markers and the mounds of earth. From my numerous and one-sided conversations, I had learned that there were water lines running a patchwork under the graveyard with faucets that would be used in the spring to help soak the dirt and tamp the new ones flat. But for now, it was as if the ground had refused to accept Vonnie Hayes. It had been almost a month since her death, and I found myself up here once a week. When somebody like Vonnie dies, you expect the world to stop. And maybe for one brief second, the world does take notice. Maybe it's not the world outside, but the world inside that's still. It took about 10 minutes to get back to the IGA in the center of Durant, where I had left my erstwhile deputy to Shanghai prospective jurors for the local judicial system. I rolled into the parking lot, scratched my beard as I parked, and looked at the plastic-wrapped bundles of wood priced at 2 for $7 that were stacked at the entrance of the grocery store. We had been forced to act as the Absaroka County press gang about 8 times during my tenure as sheriff, which itself had taken up almost a quarter of a century. The jury wheels used by the county were chocked so full of outdated records that a large percentage of the summonses were returned undeliverable, and the ones that did get where they were supposed to go many times got ignored. My advice that we simply put occupant on the things was dismissed out of hand. I looked at the handsome woman at the entrance of the grocery store with the clipboard in her hands. Victoria Moretti didn't like being called handsome, but that's how I thought of her. Her features were a little too pronounced to be dismissed as pretty. The jaw was just a little too strong, the tarnished gold eyes just a little too sharp. She was like one of those beautiful saltwater fish in one of those tanks you knew better than to stick your hand into. You didn't even tap on the glass. Of all the shitty things you make me do, I think I hate this the most. I have an undergraduate degree in law enforcement. I've forgotten how many hours toward a master's. Graduated from the Philadelphia Police Academy in the top 5%. I had 4 years street duty, 2 field commendations. I am your most senior officer. I felt a sharp jab at my midriff. Are you fucking listening to me? I watched as my highly capable and awarded deputy accosted a middle-aged man in a barn coat, copied down information from his driver's license, and informed him that he needed to get over to the courthouse pronto or be faced with contempt of court. Well, there's another notch on my Glock. I watched as the hapless shopper balanced his purchases and wandered off to his car. Hey, there are worse places for a stakeout. At least we've got plenty of supplies. It's supposed to snow another 8 inches tonight. I looked over at the neatly shoveled driveways. Don't worry, you can go in and flush them out, and you can do some last-minute shopping. I was tapping on the glass and getting my tarnished gold's worth. How many more Talus jurors do we need? 2? She searched the automatic glass doors behind us. Dan Crawford stood at the far register, registering his annoyance at our official abuse of his customer base. She looked back at me. Talus jurors? The process started in this country with the Boston Massacre. They pulled spectators out of the courtroom gallery to serve as jurors during the trial of a British soldier. It's from the Latin, meaning bystander. You're Italian. You should understand these things. I'm from Philadelphia.